Okay. People who've come into treatment and have done a thorough and honest fourth and fifth step, okay? Give or take, about 85% of them stay sober. So what would that tell you?
That they didn't go through it thoroughly.
No. Now listen to what I said. People who come into treatment and do a thorough fourth and fifth step, 85% of them stay sober. Now, in this field, that is a very, very high number.
So they're important.
Say that again?
They're important.
Very. 75% of people who do not do a thorough and honest fourth and fifth step get loaded again. So, which one do you want to be? an 85%er or a 75%er?
85.
Okay. Now, if you do a fourth and fifth step thorough and honest, are you going to have to put some shit down there that you don't want nobody to know
Yes.
that you did or it happened to you?
Yes.
Absolutely. So how many times have y'all heard me say, you got to do some things in recovery that you really don't want to do? This is one of them. And most people who balk at the fourth and the fifth step. Now, I promise you, if we went around here and y'all were honest, every one of y'all have at least 15 things you don't want nobody to know. At least that many. Now, you say you've done a fourth and a fifth step?
I have.
Okay, let's see if you really have. Do you know what the three basic instincts are? Just yes or no?
No, I can't remember.
Okay. Have they ever been explained to you? Yes or no? Yeah. Then there's no way you could have did a thorough and honest four step.
Right.
Yeah. Now, do I think you attempted one? I do. Do I think you did a thorough and honest one? No. Look, how many of y'all, I promise you, who else thinks they did one? Okay. Did you put everything down there? It's yes or no. Okay, no. And what happened? Well, now you didn't relapse. You just picked back up. Yeah. You did one? Did you put everything down there?
Absolutely.
Okay. So did you do one? Did you attempt one? Okay. Now, unless you can turn to the place in the big book where it says, I can leave 2 or 3 things off, okay, which it doesn't. It says it's got to be thorough and
Honest.
so if you left something off, you didn't do it thorough and honest, did you do a fourth step? You did, or your step. And we know where your steps get you.
Here.
Right here. Now, before we get into the fourth step, we're going to take a little bit of time and we're going to go back and we're going to get some people updated on these. How many of y'all have been in here where we went over these before? Keep your hand up for me a minute. Okay. All right. Look, the ones of y'all who hadn't, we're going to do a little crash course real quick. Because it's sort of imperative you know a little bit about this before we get into the fourth step. Now, every human being that's ever been put on the face of this earth, we're all made exactly the same. Nobody is better than, and nobody is
Less than.
worse than. We're all made exactly the same. Every human being that's ever been put on the face of this earth, from Adam to the last baby born, we're all made exactly
The same.
and we're all made with 3 basic instincts. Every human being has a social instinct, a security instinct, and a sex instinct. And these 3 basic instincts make up something called self. Now, the easiest way to remember, okay, when she starts drawing Social Security, she'll have no more
Not true necessarily.
You didn't even get a laugh out of that one, did I? Half of a smile, though. Look, that's a joke. That's the easiest way to remember. Social, three basic instincts that make up self. Now, everything you do, both good and bad, is based on one of these instincts. Now, other people, your families, your children, your friends, people you don't want to barbecue with on Sunday, employers, everybody has these three instincts. Now, if I can sort of learn what makes me tick, I can sort of learn what makes you tick. You tick. You tick. You tick. And if I can sort of learn what makes me tick, and you're pretty much like me, and I know sort of what makes you tick, I can get along better with people. Because I need people to get along in this world. Now, where's God? Deep down in every man, woman, and child. So these people that I really need in my life, guess who's in them? Now, how many of y'all are running people off instead of attracting them? So we got to sort of go in a different direction here. Now, how many of y'all have ever heard of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden? I'm going to give you the drunk, condensed version. Now, when God created everything, say it took him about 7 days. He works quick. When he created everything, he has all these creatures in the garden. He says, I'm going to make something in my image, so he made man. Then I'm going to give man some companionship, so he made woman. They say that's when the damn problem started. I'm going to get one day. Now, Adam and Eve, they rocking along in the garden. Everything is going great. The best it's ever been. There was no crime, no pollution, no nothing. Now, God told Adam and Eve, y'all got the damn run of the place. You just can't eat the apple. Now, everything's rocking along, going great, and this little snake comes slithering by. Goes up to Eve and says, hey, Eve, y'all creatures, humans, don't have to do like us creatures. Y'all have self-will. Y'all can do what y'all want. Matter of fact, y'all go eat the damn apple. Eve says, no, God said we couldn't. Little snake says, Eve, I'm telling you, y'all not like us other creatures. Y'all got self-will. Y'all can go eat the apple. So Eve runs back and tells Adam, we got self-will. We can go eat the apple. So what'd they do? They went and ate the apple. Now, God comes walking through the garden. He sees the apple missing, and he was shocked. He said, Adam, who ate the damn apple? Adam says, well, we did. And God said, Adam, why did you do that? He looks at Eve and he says, she made me do it. Now, that's the first time man ever exerted. Now, who knows what happened to him? They got banned from the garden. But before God banned him, he made a deal with him. He said, hey, if you ever want to give this back to me, I'll take you back with open arms. He made that same deal with me, you. Now, how many of y'all, this gift that God has given you, this is what you've done with it. Run it right. You do what you want, when you want, how you want. You don't care about nobody but your damn self. Now, other humans have these same instincts. We're the only creatures that God gave instincts to plus self-will. Other creatures, lions, tigers, cats, dogs, bears, they have these same instincts, but their instincts are directed by God's will. God tells them when to eat, when to construct shelter, when to reproduce. He directs everything they do. That's why you've never opened up a newspaper and on the front page it said 200,000 kangaroos have went to war with 100,000 elephants. Have any of y'all ever heard such of a thing? You never will. You know why you'll never hear that? Because God directs their instincts. Now, have you ever heard of 100,000 men going to war with another 100,000? This is why. Run, riot. Now, self-will in itself, is it good or bad? Well, what was the intended purpose? To be good. God gave us humans this plus this because he loved us more than any other creature on the face of this earth. And he wanted us humans to be the dominant species. So when it comes to the instincts, we get to make a lot of choices and a lot of decisions. Now, how many of y'all have ever saw two dogs in divorce court? How many of y'all have ever heard of a bear on a psychiatrist's couch? You never will, because God directs their instincts. Now, have any of y'all ever been out to Ethel for treatment? Okay, out in Ethel, they got a bunch of big lakes and shit, and they got these geese. And geese are dumb ass animals. They eat and shit everywhere. Just go to Ethel, you'll step in some. Now, geese are dumb animals. Yet, when it starts to get wintertime here, they can fly 6,000 miles south, stay for a couple of months, and fly back. Dumb animals. You know why? God directs there. Now, if you ever watch ducks, geese fly, they fly in a V. When the lead one gets tired, it peels to the back of the V and another one steps right in its place. There's no quacking, no squawking. They don't land and go, hey, who's going to lead us now? Dumb animals can do that. Now, how many of y'all sort of think y'all are sort of intelligent? You are. To get away with the shit you've been getting away with, you pretty damn intelligent. Now, if we took all of us, God forbid, and I said, hey, we're going to walk to Baton Rouge. When we got to the door, this would kick in and ruin everything. This group over here would say, we got to go right. This group over here would say, left. And a couple of y'all would go, no, we got to go straight. Now, how come dumb animals can fly 6,000 miles, stay for a couple of months, and fly back? Because God directs their instincts. And a bunch of intelligent ass humans couldn't walk from here to Baton Rouge. So if I can get these out of my hands into, there's no telling what I can do. Now, how many of y'all say out your mouth, I love my family? And I tell you, bullshit. Now, if you really did, every decision you make would be based on what's best for their instincts and not yours. Now, when I came into this program 20-something years ago, I had identical twins at that point in time. When I came in here, they were about 11 years old. Two girls, looked just alike, identical. What I did to them, if you would have did it, one of us wouldn't be here right now. Now, I'm running the streets of North Baton Rouge like a chicken with my head cut off. I'm doing what I want, when I want, and how I want. I don't care about nobody but my damn self. Now, I say out of my mouth, I love my babies. But my actions prove the complete opposite. Now, what do you think I did to their companionship? Do you think I built that up and instilled that in them like a father should, or destroyed it? What do you think I did to their prestige, their self-esteem, their pride? Every one of their instincts I affected. And I'm telling them out my mouth, I love you, girl. And they're looking at me like, really? Then why do you treat us like you treat us? So what we're inventorying, I don't know if you get this or not, but we're going to inventory this. Now, we also gave you a 4-step resentment sheet. Now, if you notice, right here, this third column, all of this right here, look, all of this right here is what?
Social instinct.
The instinct. So if you don't understand these, look, if you don't understand these, you can't fill this out thorough and honest. If you understand these and you're not honest, can you do this thoroughly? No. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to show you how to fill out a 4-step. Okay? And we're going to do a couple of examples in here. I'm going to call on a couple of y'all to give me a resentment that you actually have. And we're going to put it up here. Now, how many of y'all in here get resentments? How many of y'all say, well, I'm just going to quit getting mad?
Yeah.
It's impossible. Unless you know why you get resentments, you will keep getting resentments. Now, you get nothing else out of this morning. I want you to listen to this. If I get a resentment, this is what I know today. It has nothing to do with another person. There's something the matter with me. One or more of my is getting threatened or affected. Now, whose instincts are they? Mine. The only way they can be affected by somebody else is if I let them. Now, how many of y'all let people control you up here? The least little thing they say or do, they got you like that. And if they control your thinking, they control your actions. And it's not there, it would be your fault. Now,
So our resentment's like, I was going to ask you, to resent ourselves, right?
yeah, but I don't talk a lot about resenting self. Yeah. Because I think it's a cop-out.
What if I don't blame what I do on other people?
Huh? Well, I promise you, we're gonna probably use you as an example. Now, a good example though. You know, I hear people say that all the time. Well, I don't resent other people. Well, that is bullshit. Because I promise you, if I really start asking you some questions, it'll change real quick. Now, I guarantee you by 6 in the morning, if I got up at 5, by 6, I had 10 resentments. Now, how many of y'all, you keep getting these resentments? shit that happened years ago, and you keep playing it over and over and over and over. And every time you replay it, it gets
Worse.
And every time you replay it and it gets worse, the person gets worse. But if we get down to the truth, it's nothing like it really actually happened. Now, what we're going to try to teach you is how to use a process for the rest of your life. See, because look, what we're going to do in 4 through 9 is teach you how to
Continue. Take personal inventory.
That's what we're going to do. And the people who normally get this part, the 4 through 9 part, it's a cinch for them to do this. But people who bullshit here and here, they actually get not a lot out of 4 through 9. So when it's time for them to continue, they go, well, I didn't get anything up here. Why would I continue that? But the ones who are thorough and honest here and here, what opens up for them now is 6 and guess what they want to do then? And then we keep doing this for the rest of my life. See, every day I do the 10th step. Every day. Because every day, guess what gets affected sometimes?
Your instinct.
Now, let's just say for shits and giggles, she hobbled through that door. And she said, I don't like him. I can't stand him. I hate his guts. I don't learn nothing in his class. I can't stand going to his class. Now, let's say she said that, which she probably has already.
No.
Let's say she says that, and I get a resentment. Why did I get the resentment? Would my companionship have been affected?
Yes.
Somebody read it.
Wanting to belong or to be accepted.
Okay, would that have been affected?
Yes.
Yeah. What about my prestige? Somebody read it.
The power to command, admiration. Coveted status.
Would it have been affected?
Yes.
What about my self-esteem,
Yes.
my pride,
Yes.
personal relationships?
Yes.
What about my material security? It would depend if I told her something I shouldn't have. What about my emotional security? Stay with me. What about my sex instinct? Not between me and her, because we ain't got none. But let's just say she said that. And I'm fuming. I'm mad as hell. And I walk in my office and my phone rings and it's my wife and I answer it like this. What the hell do you want? I promise you it would affect. I promise you it would. See, it's not just between me and her. Now, let's say she said that and those instincts of mine got threatened and affected. Would they be affected because of what she said? Or because one of my character defects is cropping up? Would I be being dishonest if that happened? Who says no? Who says yes? Who's not sure? Look, if she said that and I got pissed off about it, I would be being dishonest with me because she's a sick little girl. She's in
You answer.
treatment. She's gonna say shit like that. Now, would I be being inconsiderate
Yes.
of the fact would I be being selfish,
Yes.
self-centered,
Yes.
self-seeking?
Yes.
Because who am I thinking about?
You.
Not.
Her.
Now, if I wasn't all of that, would these have got threatened?
No.
Would I have a resentment?
No.
See how many of y'all, they can take you anywhere they want like that. up here. And you just go right along with them. I could take some of y'all and go any damn where I wanted with you, and you would get mad at me. It's like this. How many of y'all hand people an empty gun? You say, hey, give it back. They give it back to you, you load it with bullets and give it back to them. They shoot your ass and you get mad at them. That's what most of y'all do with these resentments.
Stupid on your part.
Well, you said that, I didn't. There's a lot of things on your part that you do that way. Right? Now, is that an extreme example?
Yeah.
But if you really think about it, have you been doing something real similar? Yeah. And we don't even think about it. It just becomes sort of automatic. People that knew me before I came in here, this is what they would do. They would go, watch this shit. And they would throw something out there knowing exactly what I was going to do. And I would pounce on it like they knew I would. And they would go, see, I told you. And the whole time, guess what I'm thinking? I'm going, I got these sons of bitches right where I want them. And they had me like a little puppet on a string the whole time. Now, when I started to see that, I went, golly, man. Golly. How self-deluded I had been about a lot of stuff. Now, I want you to get the 4-step inventory sheet in front of you. Y'all be looking at that thing while I'm doing that. All right, I want somebody to look on your resentment one and tell me the first one under the social instinct. Okay. Self-esteem and what? Pride. Okay, somebody read the next one.
Personal relationship.
Personal relationships. The next one, security.
Material.
And
Emotional.
emotional. Somebody read the next one under the sex instinct.
Natural.
Desire and what?
Natural and desire.
Okay. Now, and in the ambition, social security, sex. Now, the 4th column, it says, what is the exact nature of my wrongs, faults, mistakes, defects, and shortcomings. Now, what's the first one?
Selfish.
What?
Selfish.
I don't know nothing about that. Next one.
Dishonest.
Next one.
Self-seeking, frightened.
Self-seeking and frightened. Next one.
Inconsiderate, self-centeredness.
Okay, now, the inventory I want you to remember this number today, okay? I want you to remember the number 4. 4. 4. 4. Now, which step are we talking on?
4.
The 4th step. How many inventories are there in the 4th step?
4.
4. A resentment, a fear, a harms, and a sex. 4 inventories. What step? How many inventories?
4.
Okay. Now, if you learn how to feel the resentment out, you've learned how to feel the other 3. Now, there are 4 columns, okay? From right here to right here. This is all column 1. From right here to right here is column.
2.
From right here all the way to here, all of this is column.
3.
That is
So,
the instincts. And from right here to right here is column. So how many columns?
4.
What step?
4.
How many inventories?
4.
So remember 4. Now, what we're going to show you how to do today is the 4-step resentment inventory. Now, for those of y'all who don't know this, I've been to treatment twice. The very first time I went, I did not want to be there. I know none of y'all in here are like that. I went to get people off of my, I went to get a probation officer off my ass. I went to get an ex-wife off my ass. I went to get parents off my ass. And I went to get kids off of my. I said, I'll do what y'all want. Because at that time, I needed a little break. So I go to this place for 28 days. And all I wanted was a certificate they give you for finishing it. And they gave you a little coin. Now, when I was in the treatment facility, I was the model patient. I didn't break not one rule, not one. You know why? I wanted that certificate. Or that, you know. So, the model patient, I followed all the rules. But when it came time to do this, I went, no thanks. I don't need that. Now, I get home and I show all those people, I said, look, I did what y'all wanted. Leave me the hell alone. Now, what they did was, and 6 months later, was leave me the hell alone. You know why? Because about the 4-month mark, guess what got through? The obsession. And it overruled everything they told me. It overruled everything the probation officer told me, the kids, the wife, the ex-wife, and the parents. And everything they told me, when they found out I'd pick back up, they did. I lost my freedom. I couldn't see my kids. I couldn't go to nobody's home. If I did, they called the authorities on me. Now, it took about 2 years. Fast forward 2 years after I had lost everything. I go back to the same damn treatment center. And they throw me these 4-step sheets. And the first thing that went on there was the thing I didn't want nobody to know. Because I knew if I didn't do this thorough and honest, I would use again. Now, if you get thorough and honest on this, are you going to suffer some pain and discomfort? Yeah, for about 10 damn minutes in the 5th step. If you don't get thorough and honest in this, are you going to suffer some pain and discomfort? Yeah, for quite more than 10 minutes. Now, how many of y'all are so self-centered You think you're the only one that's ever done the things that you've done. Now, one of the things I didn't want nobody to know I had did, my family is very big in the Catholic Church, especially out here. And they had gotten me a job working at a church doing maintenance. And they gave me the keys to the kingdom. And for about 6 months, I was the model employee. Y'all know how we do. And I got them trusting them. So what I started to do was take their tools, go pawn them, smoke them up in crack like Cheech and Chong, and I'd go back and get their tools when I got paid. Y'all know how we did that.
Yeah.
Did that for a couple of months. Nobody knew the wiser until I quit going and get the tools back. Y'all know how we did.
Yeah.
Now, little priest finds out, calls me in his office, shows me so much forgiveness, love, patience, tolerance, little fucker. Really made me feel about this big. He says, you know, I'm not going to tell your family or call the law, but you can't work here anymore. Now, the guilt and the remorse, like to ate my lunch. Now, the very first thing I put down there on that 4th step was what I just told you. Now, I'm on camera to about, I don't know, 200 other people. So guess what I just told you? Guess what they heard? Same thing. See, a couple of the promises are if you do this, you won't regret or wish to shut the door on it. Now, how many of y'all, your past is eating your damn lunch? Now, we're going to go around the room. All I want you to do is tell me yes or no. That's all you have to say. Have you ever stole from the church? It's yes or okay. How many of y'all know anything about the bigger book? They call it the Bible. When I did my 5th step, where I went to treatment, you went in this room with your 4th step. Another member of Alcoholics Anonymous, a recovered member, came in and did your 5th step. So the guy who walks in to do my 5th step, he is about this tall. He's about this big around, and he's black as an ace of spades. And I went, what the hell? I said, what is this guy going to teach me that I don't know? He's black, I'm white. He's fat, I'm skinny, because I've been on the stem fast diet for a while. I said, he's short, I'm tall. Now, he taught me more about me than any human being ever has. Any human being. Now, not only was he a recovered member of Alcoholics Anonymous, he was an ordained minister. Tell me God don't have a funny sense of humor. Now, he comes in, he says, look, I want you to tell me which one of these is eating your lunch the most. So I pointed to it. I said, the one about stealing from the church. He starts laughing. I say, hey man, what are you laughing about? It took a lot for me to put that down there. He says, Kevin, do you think you're the only one that's ever stole from the church? I said, I'm one of the few. He says, no, you're not. Now, who knows a little bit about the bigger book? It says you're supposed to give how many? 10% of everything you make to. If you don't, they consider it. Now, we all know y'all ain't gay. So guess what y'all have done? Same thing I did. Now, am I trying to make light of what I did? No, the point of the story is How many of y'all are so self-centered? You think you're the only one that's ever did the shit you've done. Now, if I wouldn't have put it down there, would he have been able to show me a different way to look at it? No. Would that guilt and remorse still be eating my lunch? And I probably wouldn't be up here right now. If you don't get thorough and honest, what you do to the fifth step taker is tie their hands. That's what you do. Now, where's God? Every man, woman, and child. Guess who was in him? So if I bullshitted him, guess who I was bullshitting? And guess what God does with somebody that bullshits him like that? He leaves the obsession firmly planted in your head. You know how I know? The first time I went and bullshitted him. Now, this time I got thorough hands. And you know what God said? I think my boy's ready. And guess what sort of just went right on away? Yeah. Now think about that one. See, when you got out of treatment, as Bill says in the big book, did the goose hang high for a little while? Was you running to them meetings and shit and bringing your big book and quoting the son of a bitch and all that shit, huh? But you know what was right here still? Yeah. It was going, I got you, right where? Yeah. Now, how many of y'all, you come in here and you look for everything in the treatment center that you can complain about? Come on now, come on. We all do it. We all do it. But look, are y'all here for the accommodation?
No.
Are you here for the food?
No.
Why are you here? Look, I'm telling you, where I went to treatment, y'all wouldn't have made it. Don't worry about it. Now, I shit you not. You could see through the floor. And
The room.
they had window units, heat and cold. When you got up in the morning at 5 o'clock, guess what you had to turn off? The air conditioning. And you couldn't turn it back on until after the meeting at night. Now, how many of y'all would have stuck that out? So when y'all come in here, I go, what's so bad about this? And a lot of people have busted their ass for you to have this. So look, do we make some mistakes? Yeah, we do. You ever tried to take care of 70 people? It's tough, especially 70 of y'all. So give us a break sometimes. Now, I want you and you and you, and we're going to go you two. Four of y'all. I want y'all to think of a resentment that you have that we can put up here. Now, I want you to listen to me. I don't need no damn help from the peanut gallery. I got this. I don't need no comments. I don't need nobody laughing. I don't need you to say, I got this. Now, before we get going, I don't want not self. If she says mother, you got to say something different. If she says father, you got to say something different. Okay? All right? Now, how many of y'all in school? Look, you got to listen. Woo-hoo, you got to listen to this. If you don't, when we give you the 4-step papers, you're not going to do it correctly. You got to listen right now. Now, how many of y'all have been here 2 weeks or more? You're not going to hear this again before you get your 4-step paper. So y'all really have to listen to that. If you've been here 2 weeks or less, we're gonna probably go over this again before it's time for you to start. But if you listen today, when we go back on it the second time, we'll start clicking like that. Now, in school, you were taught to read and write from left to right. Do not fill this out left to right. You're going to hear me say that about 10 more times today. Do not go left to right. You're going to go top to on each column. Top to bottom, top to bottom. Column 3, and then column 4, top to bottom. And we're going to show you why you go top to bottom. Do not go right. Now, y'all would be shocked. I'm not. People who get these inventory sheets after sitting in education and try to do the son of a bitches left to right. And I'm going to show you why you don't do that. Now, how many columns are up here? 4. 4. Look. This whole thing is column 3, not this one. Now, this is the way it sort of works. Let's just say for shits and giggles, what's your first name? Alexi. Let's say it's Alexi's time to start her 4-step. We're going to give her a 4-step packet, and they're going to say, Alexi, we want you to do column 1 on all your sheets. So she's going to focus on nothing but column 1 on her resentments, fears, harms, sex. Y'all with me? Yeah. The next night, we're going to say, Alexi, we want you to do column 2. So she's going to go top to bottom on all her resentments, fears, harms, sex. Concentrating on nothing but column 2. Now, the third night, I want you to really listen to this. The third night, we want you to do column 3. She's going to go top to bottom on all her resentment, fear, harm, sex. Top to bottom on all her fear, harm, sex. Everything. Now, you got to have this in front of you when you get to column 3. Now, look up here. I'm telling you, if you get this point right here, you'll know why we go top to bottom. What she's going to do, she's going to read what self-esteem and pride say off of this. She's going to get that in her head and concentrate on nothing but self-esteem and go top to bottom on all her lists. Then she's going to read what personal relationships say on this and get that in her head and go top to bottom on all her lists until she gets over here. Now, if she does that, she's going to be able to do it thorough and honest. Now, if she tries to go left to right, she's going to have to stop each time and read what that shit says. And when she gets about right here, she's going to be so irritable, restless, and discombobulated, she's going to start checking shit. And it's not going to be thorough, and it's not going to be, and it won't, and you'll be a 75%er. You'll get loaded again, and you'll say, that AA shit don't work. Look, they put precise, clear-cut directions for a damn reason. And one of the hardest things for y'all to do is follow precise, clear-cut directions. Now, do you go left to right or top to bottom? Top to bottom. Now, I won't. Look, I'm horrible with names, so don't take it personally. First name. Michelle. Michelle. So Michelle and Ashley. God. Michelle, Kyra, and Ashley.
Michelle, Kyra,
what?
Tori.
Kyra, Tori, Michelle, and Ashley. Right? All right. Okay. All right. I want you to give me your resentment. Who do you resent? Give me a real one.
For real, my father.
Okay, father. Next.
Or a name or like an ex.
I don't care.
Mikey.
Mikey. Next.
Hey,
What?
Taylor,
Taylor.
yeah,
Next.
brother.
Brother. Very simple. You could fill this out with your damn mascara marker. That's how simple it is. Okay, we move to column 2, the cause. Look, you don't have to write your life story right here like y'all want to do. All you gotta do is put enough to get going in the 5th step. Now, why do you resent father?
Mean son of a bitch.
He is mean. Why you resent Mickey? Mikey. He didn't give you none of his cereal? Why you resent Mikey? Come on. Come on.
He forced me to suck dick for Mojo.
Okay, he forced you into sex acts, right? Right? Okay, okay. Why you resent Taylor?
From moving to
He
Nashville.
moved.
She did.
She moved.
Yeah.
She moved to Baton Rouge. Why you resent your brother?
Fighting,
Huh?
fighting.
Fighting. Okay. All right. Now, stay with me. Social instinct. I want you to read what pride and self-esteem say.
Self-esteem, what we think of ourselves, high or low,
And pride,
an unjustified opinion of oneself.
Okay.
Positive self-love or
all right,
negative.
look up here. When he's being mean, does it affect your self-esteem?
Yes,
Did that affect your self-esteem? Did that affect your self-esteem? Now, you see how you read it one time and you get what that means up here, and you can just go ping, 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 ping. And you're gonna get real thorough and honest if you do it that way. All right, read what personal relationships say.
Our relations with other human beings and the world.
Okay, when he's being mean to you, does it affect your personal relationships?
yes.
Next, next, next.
Yeah.
I would say so. We done with, we go to the security instinct. With him being, now look, y'all look up here. We want you filling this out when this is actually rolling around in your head. Not how you looking at shit now, but how this was in your head. How did you feel at that time? Whenever he's being mean, all this time in your life, has it affected your material security?
No.
Well, let's talk about it. He was your father, okay? Did you not want him to help you with certain stuff because material-wise, because he was a mean son of a bitch, like you say?
I wanted him to help me with money for school.
Okay,
Didn't, so I guess yes.
okay. Well, look,
Yeah.
we're gonna, look, I don't need no help. I got this. Now, what you told me he forced you to do, was it so you wouldn't have to buy it? Okay, so did it affect your material? Okay. Next,
Yes.
next.
Yes.
Emotional security. This is a real good tip to help you out a lot. If you got them up here, guess what it affected?
Emotional security.
So,
Yes.
next, next.
Yes.
Okay, we go to the sex instinct. It says natural and desire. Look, the easiest way I can explain these two to you, it's not what you think it is. Now, the natural sex instinct. Let's say I'm in a relationship, a committed relationship, and I'm treating this person the way I want to be treated. What will we consider that? Natural or desired? I would say natural. Now, let's say I'm in a relationship, I'm going out here, and I'm doing all kinds of inconsiderate, dishonest shit. Will we consider that natural or desired?
Desire.
Let's say I ain't in a relationship, but I'm treating God's other children in a selfish kind of a way to get what I,
One.
is that natural or desired?
Desire.
Okay. Now, when he's being mean to you, when that was happening coming up, did it affect your natural sex instinct
In my current relationship? Or
in any way?
No.
Well, I would say different,
Okay.
because I would say he sort of taught you what kind of a man you did not want to be with.
Okay, I would agree.
Would you agree?
Yeah. I would
So
agree.
did it affect the natural sex instinct some kind of a way?
Yeah.
Okay. Not with you and him.
Well, no, I understand that.
Okay. All right. So we got, yeah. Next. 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 A desire. I don't know. It's yours. It ain't mine. Did this affect it in any kind of a way? Think about it. We're gonna say no.
No,
Huh?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
She says no. Yes. I would probably, unless I knew a little bit more, say no. Now, if you listen to this right here, it'll save you a lot of time. Ambitions. Under each one of these is an ambition. Ambitions are your plans for the future. Everybody has a social plan, security plan, and a sex plan. Now, look up here. I'm going to get this from these two. I'm going to get this one from these two. I'm going to get this one from these two. Now, she's got both of her social instincts checked here. What do you think it did to her ambition? It affected it. So I'm getting this from there. Who didn't understand that? Okay, listen up. Social instinct, right? Right? Social ambition. So I'm going to get this social plan for my future based on how it was affected over here. Now, both of her social instincts were affected. What do you think we would do here?
Check.
Both of hers are checked. What do you think?
Check.
Both of hers are checked.
Yes.
Save you a lot of time. Okay, we go to security. Both of hers are checked. What do you think?
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Okay, the sex instinct. Sex. One check, one nothing. What do you think? It's still affected.
Yes.
Both of hers are checked.
Yes.
Both of hers.
Yes.
One and none.
Yes.
Okay, let's say she had both of these no. What would it be?
No.
Okay. Okay, now, the fourth column, just in here, we're gonna sort of go left to right, just in,
Yes.
look, just in here. You don't do that. Now, how many of y'all, when y'all get to this fourth column, since you've been learning some shit in here, you just start checking shit? Now, put your pens down. I want you to listen to what I'm fixing to tell you. You're filling this out when this was actually happening. Now, when this was happening to you, did you think you were being selfish?
Yes.
Okay, so when he's calling you all kinds of names, being mean as a son of a bitch, did you go, yeah, but that's because I'm selfish?
No.
No, you
not
didn't.
some.
So, did you think you were being dishonest?
No.
Frightened?
Yes.
Yes. Inconsiderate? No. When this was happening, did you think you were being selfish, dishonest, frightened as hell, inconsiderate? I guarantee you, when he forced you to do that, you didn't go, well, okay, but I'm being inconsiderate. Did you? No. All right, Taylor, did you think you were being selfish? Dishonest? Frightened?
Yes.
Inconsiderate?
No.
With your brother, were you being selfish?
No.
Dishonest?
No.
Frightened? Inconsiderate? Now, we're done. Now we're going to give you a little taste of a fifth step. Now, I want you to tell me something about this right here.
About my dad.
Yeah.
When I was younger, he was really mean to my mom. I listened to them scream and yell at each other a lot. It scared the hell out of me.
Right.
To be honest with you, I would hide in my closet.
Okay.
Can still remember the words that they said to each other, which I should probably learn how to let go of.
So let me ask you this. As a father, was he one of us? Was he alcoholic?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I want y'all to turn y'all's big books. I want you to turn your big book to page 66. The last paragraph, the second to last sentence on that page where it says this was our course. Now, before we get into it, look back up here. Now, he was one of us. Okay. Are you a mother?
Stepmother.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Now, have you made mistakes
Yes.
as a mother?
Yes.
Okay. And what did you want those children to show you?
Love
Okay.
and respect,
Forgiveness?
forgiveness.
Okay. And as long as that's shown to you, it's great. Right?
Right?
Okay. Now, when somebody else who's alcoholic makes mistakes as a parent, you want to crucify them.
Right.
You see anything wrong with that?
Yeah, because
Okay.
I'm sure my kids
Well,
want to crucify me.
Let me ask you something. With this right here, are you being selfish? Well, let me ask you something. You want to be forgiven for being not so good of a parent? An alcoholic, practicing alcoholic, right?
Yeah.
Same thing, right? Same thing.
Right.
You're mad at him for doing the same thing you've done. Is that a little selfish?
Yeah.
Okay. So we can check it? Huh? Are you being dishonest? Okay. Are you lying that you can do it and be forgiven, but he can't?
No.
Okay. Well, have you made mistakes as a parent?
Yes.
And what do you want him to show you?
Forgiveness.
Okay. Has he made mistakes as a parent?
Yes.
Are you showing him the same?
Attempted it.
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
Is that dishonest?
Yes.
Okay. Are you being inconsiderate as hell?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you weren't all of this, if this wasn't in your character and your personality, these would not be affected like they are. We wouldn't be talking about this and this because he wouldn't be living rent-free up in your head. And that's not his fault. That is your fault. Now, when you came in here, did you make comments like, I'm going to do whatever it takes? Okay, start reading. This was our course. Second to last sentence. Read it loud.
This was our course. We realized that people who have wronged us were perhaps spiritually sick.
Look up here. The people who wronged us were perhaps,
Spiritually sick.
you ever been spiritually sick?
Absolutely.
And what you want people to show you?
Forgiveness.
Yeah. Well, when somebody's spiritually sick towards you, you want to crucify them. It's like you're up here and you think everybody else is.
Damn.
Yeah. Keep reading.
That we did not like their symptoms and the way these disturbed.
Look up
us.
here. Though we did not like their symptoms and the way they disturbed us. Good.
They, like ourselves, were sick too.
Look up here. They, like ourselves, were sick too. Now, you're not mad. I guarantee you, if her father did the same thing, you wouldn't be as mad. Huh? No,
It's not my fault.
but a mean father is a mean father, whether it's hers or yours. But since it was yours and it affected you, this is why you're mad. Now, have you ever affected people's instincts? And what'd you want them to show you?
Forgiveness.
See, you think you got two different set of standards. What is supposed to be shown to you and what you get to show everybody else. And it doesn't work that way. And the truth is, he's sick. Now, as a parent, if you had the opportunity to go back and do something different, would you?
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you think, I didn't say no, I said think, if he had the same opportunity, he would?
Yes.
Okay. We need to talk about that anymore?
No.
You know, they have people that charge thousands of dollars to sit on their couch to tell you what I just told you. Keep reading. And book sucks, don't it?
We ask God to help us show them the same tolerance, pity, and patience that we would cheerfully grant sick.
Now, it says you ask who
God,
to help who?
me,
Oh, not him.
me.
You. Show him what?
The same tolerance, pity, and patience that we would cheerfully grant sick.
Yeah. Now, do you want to be forgiven for some stuff?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever actually listened to the Lord's Prayer? It says, forgive us as
We forgive
I
those
forgive those.
who trespass
See,
against
the
us.
only way you're going to be forgiven by those stepkids and husband and grandkids is when you truly start to.
Forgive him.
Yeah. Now, he controlling you still today?
Yes.
I would say so. And whose fault is that? Yeah. We need to talk about that anymore?
No.
Good, because we'll both be smoking crack if we do. You would be.
I'll be looking for a bottle of
Okay.
grape juice.
Now, I want you to listen to this, and I want you to listen to me real good. Okay? We're not saying who's right and wrong. That's not what we're looking for. That's not your job or mine. You know whose job that is? God's. And I promise you, somebody like that did that to another one of God's children is going to answer for it one day. Now, I'm going to be real delicate with this, as I can be. And look, when I say this, a lot of people go, golly, man, he doesn't have any kind of feeling, which is actually the complete opposite. Now, I want you to listen to what I'm going to tell you. You know why I tell you that? Do you know why I tell you that? Why? Okay. And I tell you that because he's still forcing you to do stuff. Because he's still got you up here. And until you don't allow that anymore, he's still forcing you to do stuff. Now, does shit happen in life? Yeah. I guarantee you everybody in here, including me, has did things in the using world that we're not proud of. Not only you. And it's not your fault. Now, what is your fault is the way that you deal with it. Now, do you know why you keep getting bogged down in this right here? Because of these right here. Now, I want you to stay with me. Let's say the same thing happened to her. Would it be bothering you like it is now? No, because if it happened to her, your instincts wouldn't have been threatened and affected. And that's why you're mad. Now, I want you to listen to me. Are you being selfish? Okay, but how? To him? No, fuck him. Okay? To who? To yourself. So can we check it? Huh? Are you being dishonest? Well, I think so. And I'll tell you in a couple of ways how. Somebody that does something like that to another one of God's children is very sick. And we both know you've been sick yourself. And you want forgiveness shown to you, right? And forgiveness is forgiveness. And I'm telling you, until you start to forgive him, a lot of the forgiveness that you're seeking will never come. But do you know why you really want to forgive him? Say that again? Yeah. Yeah. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. I'm telling you, it's okay. Not that what I say matters, but it's okay. Yeah. You gotta move, girl. You gotta move. Because see, if you don't, he wins. And that won't be his fault. That would be, yeah. Now, you see these things right here? These defects of character? Can we do anything about how your instincts got threatened? Can we do anything about what's happened? Can we do anything about him? But can we do something about this? Yeah. See, and where you need to put your time and energy is not over there anymore. Because he ain't worth that. You need to focus it here. Because this is really the only thing you can do anything about. And if your nose stays over there, you're burning up energy foolishly. You still need to put that on your 4 steps. Okay? You do too. All right, let's go. Are we good? You sure? Or are you just saying that because you don't want to talk about it no more? Okay. All right. Go. I can't wait for this one. She moved to Baton Rouge. Okay, well, tell me something about it. Now you don't want to talk about it. That's all you talked about before, though. Okay. Who did? Okay, so she came to Baton Rouge to get some help. And you're mad at that? Wow.
I was.
Well, no, you are.
I put that on my list.
Okay. Now, I'm a little slow, as you can tell. But how in the world can you be mad at somebody for trying to get some help? If she would have went to like fucking Timbuktu.
Nothing. That's why.
Well, let me ask you this. How long you been using dope? Hey, quit looking at that book. Quit looking down. Look up here. Look up here. Look, all that don't work with me.
What are you talking about?
That.
I'm looking at you though.
See the way you're reacting? Look, what, do you see the way you're reacting?
Because my sister's all I have.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Now, let's just say, look, I'm telling you, the way you're reacting is what you've been doing for a long time. And it's not working. And if you continue to do that, it won't work. And you see how you're trying now to deflect it where I'll move off of it? That won't work either. See, I'm not like that. Because I'm not about to let you sit here and stay sick. We're going to get some done right now. Look at me. Okay? Okay. Now, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to help you. Okay? Now, let's say she was the only thing you had. I'm going to disagree with you. If that was true, you would want her even more to get some help. Would you agree with that one? Huh? So we agree on one thing? Okay, now, you say she left you, right? Right? Now, how long have you been using? 9 years, okay? How long she been using? Longer or shorter? Okay, so y'all both have been in the throes of alcoholism, right? Now, did you leave you a long time ago? Okay, but you're mad at her for leaving you. Now, how's she doing today? Go get you some water. Go get you some water. Tell me a little bit about your brother.
He tends to fight, while intoxicated.
Well, wait a minute. We tend to fight while intoxicated. So if we take one of the intoxicated out the picture, that should stop the fight.
So we're both drunk fighting.
Huh?
Both drunk fighting.
No. Listen to what I just said. If y'all are fighting because you're intoxicated, right? If you take one of the intoxicated out and they're not intoxicated anymore, there's no fight. Now, I don't think that's why y'all fight. I think it's a lot more than that. Now, let me ask you something. How long have you been fighting more than him? Yeah. You think it's got anything to do with him? Yeah. I guarantee when you're intoxicated feeling like that, we could put Muhammad Ali in front of you intoxicated and you would want to fight. Yeah. So is it him? Oh. You love your brother?
No.
Well, look, I disagree. I think you do in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. But sometimes you might want to love him from a distance. Yeah. Now, y'all live together? Where? With who? How old are you? What? Why are you still living at home? Oh. Oh. Well, I sure hope you're not going back into that crazy lifestyle.
No, I'm moving.
Where? Why didn't you do that before? Turn to your big book. Last two sentences on the bottom. Start reading. This was our course. Okay. Yeah.
Was our course. We realized that the people who wronged us were perhaps spiritually sick.
Keep going.
True, we did not like their symptoms and the way these hurt us. They, like ourselves,
If you put two sick individuals together, the outcome is not very good. So what you have to do is one of two things. You have to get better, and the only way you're going to get better is to get away from that. And if you get away from that and get better, he becomes better. Because if you're better, you're going to look at him Better. Okay,
We ask God to help us show them the same tolerance, pity, and patience that we would cheerfully grant a sick friend.
now let's just say for shits and giggles, he was on his deathbed. And they said he wanted to see you. And you went to the hospital. And he said, Seth, I just want you to know, I'm very, very sorry for everything. Would you go? Or would you go? Me too. Yeah. So what they telling me is, when somebody's physically sick, we want to show them all the love, patience, tolerance in the world. When somebody's spiritually sick, we want to crucify them. You ever been spiritually sick? Huh? No, ain't no probably to it. Now, have a lot of people been showing you patience? Love. Forgiveness. Your father's letting you stay in his house? Huh? Huh? So he must be forgiving you if he's letting you stay there. Okay. Yeah. Oh, God. Now, when somebody shows you all of those God qualities, love, patience, tolerance, forgiveness, it is the best thing God's ever created. But boy, when it's time for you to show it, you don't like it so much, do you? Now, is that being selfish, dishonest,
Yes.
and damn inconsiderate of God's other children? Huh?
Yeah.
Now, who is that? Who is this? Okay, if you weren't this, these wouldn't be affecting you like they are. And if these weren't affecting you, this wouldn't be bothering you. We wouldn't be wasting time on him. Yeah, we're talking about you. We need to waste any more time on that one?
Oh, no, sir.
That one's actually quite simple. Okay. Look at me. Now, I'm going to ask you some questions. And I don't want you to start boo-hooing on me because I'm asking you to help you. I'm not asking you to hurt you. Okay? Okay? Okay. Now, how is she doing? She's doing good? Okay. Now, so with her moving, was it the right move? Okay. Now, let's say you do the same. Okay. Where are you from? So you moved to the Denham Springs to get some help. Same thing, right? Right? Now, let's just say both of y'all strike the mother load. Problem solved. Is she in recovery? Good. How long? You ought to be jumping for joy about that. Huh? I can tell.
Just because I'm in the shade.
Ow. Look, I want you to listen to me, okay? And I'm going to tell you something that you're not going to like. But I want you to listen to me, okay? How old are you? What? 23. Not 3. Right? Right? So it's time to start acting like you're 23. And when things are not said the way you want them to be said, or things are not done the way you want them to be done, you got to quit doing this. Look, you got to quit going. Because stay with me. What you doing you're making yourself look very, very immature. And we all know you cannot be that way. See, I know you can not be that way. Now, you ever want to be taken seriously? Huh? And you gotta quit going off your emotions. And you have to start using the good part of your brain. Otherwise, you're never going to grow up emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. And if you don't, it's not going to be nice for you. I know you're ready for me to shut up. So I'm not going to say, are we good? I'm going to say, are you ready for me to shut up? For good. I ain't laughing at you. How many of y'all in here? Y'all got these resentments. Y'all got all this guilt, this remorse that's just rattling around. And when you have all that rattling around, what it blocks you from is God. That's what it does. And God, he just won't direct somebody who's full of resentments, guilt, fear. He won't. Now, these steps right here, 4 through 9, this is what they do. They remove the blocks. They get all the resentments off the top of God. They get all the fear off the top of God. They get all the resentment off the top of God. And when all the blocks are removed, guess who starts directing me? God. Now, getting the blocks removed is important. But the most important thing is keeping them from coming. And I do that here. Because if I've actually got the blocks removed, I know this works. But if you never get the blocks removed, because you won't be thorough and honest in 4 through 9, the chances of you doing this, are they good or bad? Bad. Comments? Questions? Thank God. You know, the 4th and 5th step are actually quite simple. But a lot of people, they look at this and they go, holy fucking shit. Look, somebody's ability to read better than another person, will it hinder you from doing this?
No.
Somebody's ability to write better than another person, will it hinder you from doing this?
No.
Look, reading and writing has nothing to do with doing this. I've never one time in my life saw directions on a crack pipe.
Hey.
And I learned how to do that very well. And where they do have directions, like on prescription bottles, y'all won't follow them anyway. So reading and writing, your ability to read and write has nothing to do with you doing this. Now, let's say you are struggling with the reading and the writing. You gotta let us know so we can help you. Okay? We'll get somebody. Okay? All right. Comments? Question? Hey, put me on your 4th step. All right. Y'all get the hell out of here.